Govind, He Gopal, He Govind, He Govind, He Gopal, He Govind, He Gopal, He Govind. What is the chapter number? 74 and text number 5. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 74, The Deliverance of Shishupal. Text 5. Na vai te ajita bhaktanam na vai te jita bhaktanam mama aham iti madhava mamaham iti madhava tvam taveti cha nanadihi tvam taveti cha nanadihi pashunam iva vaikriti pashunam iva vaikriti navaite jita bhaktanam mamahamiti madhava tvam taveti cha nanadihi pashunam iva vaikriti navaite jita bhaktanam mamahamiti madhava tvam taveti cha nanadihi pashunam iva vaikriti. No, you can't change the tune. Tvam taveti cha nanadihi Pashunam iva Vaikriti. Navaite Jita Bhaktanam. Pashunam iva Vaikriti. Navaite Jita Bhaktanam. Mamaham iti Madhava. Tvam taveti cha nanadihi. Pashunam iva Vaikriti. Navaite jita bhaktanam. Mothers, Mamaham iti Madhava. Tvam taveti cha nanadihi. Pashunam iva Vaikriti. Na, not. Why? Indeed. Te, your. Ajita, O unconquerable one. Bhaktanam, of the devotees. Mama, aham, iti, mine and I. Madhava, O Krishna. Tvam, tava, iti, you and yours. Cha, and nana, of differences. Dihi, mentality. Pashunam, of animals. Iva, if. Vaikriti, perverted. Translation: O unconquerable Madhava, even your devotees make no distinctions of I and mine, you and yours, for this is the perverted mentality of animals. Please repeat, O unconquerable Madhava, even your devotees make no distinctions of I and mine, you and yours, for this is the perverted mentality of animals. This can also be translated as, for your devotees, the animalistic distinctions of I and mine and you and yours does not exist. We can also translate this as that for your devotees there is no conception of me and mine, and only the conception of you and yours. And every other kind of mentality is only befitting the animals. Purport: an ordinary person thinks I am so attractive, intelligent and wealthy that people should simply serve me and do what I want. Why should I obey anyone else? This proud separatist mentality is also found in animals who battle one another for supremacy. Such a mentality is conspicuously absent in the mind of an advanced devotee, and it is certainly absent in the sublime, omniscient mind of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desitarine Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamakyam Tadati Sapratantikam Vancha Kalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Thank you very much. So, this is a prayer by Maharaj Yudhishthir, who is known as Dharmaputra. He is a great devotee of the Lord. Actually, if we read Mahabharata, then people don't understand so easily that the Pancha Pandavas were great devotees of the Lord. But when you read Bhagavatam, you come to understand that they are great devotees of the Lord, and he is giving a very high-class realization, because Yudhishthira Maharaj, being a direct associate of the Lord, is practically freed from all the material inebrities, and he is saying that how the devotees think and exist, Vaishnavas. The Vaishnavas have no conception of me and mine. This is not simply a statement of dry renunciation, right? Oh, nothing is mine. No. Srila Prabhupada said in one room conversation that there are many sadhus to whom if you give money, they put their hands behind and say, no, don't give it to me, I don't take money. But Prabhupada says, but I say with both hands, give me the money and give me more. I will use it for Krishna. So, everything is used in Krishna's service, and that is the perfection of renunciation. Prapanchikataya buddhya harisambandhi vastuna mumukshubhi parityagyo falgu vairagyam katyate. Prapanchikataya buddhya. Materialistic class of people think that Harisambandhi Vastuna, things that are actually related to Krishna, they reject. Mumukshubhir, those who want liberation from material contamination reject things. Oh, this is material. But the devotees, they actually know the relationship between everything and Krishna, and they use it for Krishna's purpose. Now, it's a very simple understanding of this is that if there is water, we will offer it to Krishna. If there is rice, we will cook rice for Krishna. If there are fruits, we will offer it to Krishna. And if there is actually flowers, we will offer it to Krishna. It's a simple first stage of offering things to Krishna, because everything belongs to Krishna. But if we retain the idea, I am this body, I am this mind, I am this subtle intelligence, and I am this false ego, by which the very idea of I is there. The very idea of I is not the soul, it is the false ego. But people think that this is the soul. They think that this I is the soul, isn't it? They think that without the soul, the I cannot be there. That is wrong. However, in one sense it's right. But there is a distinction between this I and the soul. So the actual path of growth in Krishna consciousness, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Pujanam, it culminates in Atma Nivedanam. Atma Nivedanam means to actually separate the self from everything else and then to offer the self to Krishna. That is what we are here for. Just like if you get admitted in IIT, when you study, you pass the exams, and you get admitted. Then you go with the admission card the first day. Oh, there are so many other fellows who have also been admitted. Oh, Hare Krishna, how are you? Well, you know I'm from here and there. Oh, sir, what is your branch you have taken? I've taken computer science. Really, I've also taken computer science. We're going to be friends. Can we share the same room? Blah, 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 whatever it is. You make friends. And you settle down. Of course, you have to come at least a few days before the session starts, and you settle down. Your parents come and leave you in the hostel. They leave you in the hostel, and people sit in the middle of the class, get up and go. Disturbs the class. Anybody else who wants to go can go, but others stay. So you get, and then you find out the mess, and you go to the mess first day, and you eat, and then you go and see the classrooms. You go to the department. You are electrical engineering. You want to go and see where is the electrical engineering department, and you see where is the cricket ground and football ground. You get used to the campus, right? I like that. But this is the beginning. Like that, when we join the temple, we are, somebody teaches you how to put dhoti kurta, and how to shave your hair, and how to put tilak. Isn't it? And all those, and you get to know, and then this is a Bhakta ashram, and this is a temple commander, and this is, so you have to attend the morning program, this is how you have to go, and you make friends. You go to the brahmachari ashram, take prasadam. This is the beginning. But actual education has not started. But if you simply think going from one building to another and this and that is all this studying at IIT, that's not correct. So, you have to learn. It's okay, don't disturb this. Why are you disturbing me? You are trying to wake him up and disturb me. It's okay. So much. So, you have to learn what are further steps in going forward. And all those steps are clear and you make progress, then what's the point? So, here Yudhishthira is going to the end of the first stage of Vaishnavism. Oh. To actually come to the platform of completely being free from I and mine. Isn't it? It's not so simple. We have in our parampara one very rare but advanced lady guru, right? Ganga Mata Goswamini, I think her name was. And she was actually initiated and trained by Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur. And she did great penance and tapasya. I think she was even a princess or something, I don't know. The main point is, and she was so austere that at some point she went to Haridas Thakur and took his permission to give up the false ego. And once you give up that false ego, there is no more question of, anything to be done in the external plane. There are no duties, nothing. The material matter cannot act on you. Right now, I have to take prasadam, I have to go and do this, I have to do that. These compulsions are there. And we are trying to dovetail it in Krishna's service by Prabhupada's mercy. If we were simply working outside, and the compulsions are there to eat, to sleep, how are we going to dovetail it with Krishna? We couldn't, we didn't. Most people don't. The whole Bombay doesn't. But Prabhupada said, no, I will give you a place and I will give you a way to live where you can dovetail these things. This is by Prabhupada's permission we get. So to give up that false ego means you become no longer externally aware. So she took the permission. Similarly, Mother Devahuti, another great lady in our Sampradaya, she gave up completely her false ego, such that she did not even know whether she was wearing a dress or not. And it is there in the Bhagavatam, her assistants. And she was, of course, daughter of Manu, who was the emperor of the universe, wife of Kardama Muni, extraordinary. They made sure that they are not complete. And of course, Sukadeva Goswami. So sometimes people in the material consciousness artificially copy this Digambara Munis are there. They are Digambara, Dig and Ambara, directions and sky are their dress. Not a simple thing, directions. You have to be highly educated to understand what is Dik, Ashtadik. Because, in modern mathematics that you learn and all that, the basic idea is that of a position, point particle. And the direction is derived as a vector and all of that. But in the Vedic idea, the direction is the fundamental thing. So it's a science. So Digambara, there are 8 actual directions. Like you can see position, no? That's a position. This is a position. There's also 8 directions. Do you see them? So it's there. Anyway, so they artificially, we know when we come to Krishna consciousness, this is artificial. We cannot just give up the external dress and this and that and everything. But nor can you artificially reject it. That's the goal, even for Vaishnavas. To give up the sense of false ego completely. Very difficult. It's closer than mind and intelligence. Mind is closer to you than even skin. And closer than mind is intelligence, and closer than intelligence is a false ego. What is your name? I'm so and so. Where are you from? I'm from such and such a place. What do you do? All false ego. Ahamkara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. We cannot artificially give it up, nor can you artificially say it's not important. We are just engaging in Krishna service, everything is fine. No. Very dangerous. So devotees were going with Srila Prabhupada. I think I've said this before, I'll still say it. And going in Vrindavan. And one devotee told Srila Prabhupada, one disciple, Srila Prabhupada, there is a Babaji here. He drinks only 1 glass of buttermilk every day. And they thought Prabhupada would say, oh, it's all artificial renunciation. You should engage, you should take prasadam or something, as much as you can. Lord Chaitanya said, eat up to this. Prabhupada said, oh, said, that's very nice. It's very wonderful, Prabhupada said. So then the disciple said, yeah, Prabhupada, but we can't follow that because we are preaching. Prabhupada said, yes, but you should be able to do that. Not that we are preaching and we are not capable of tapasya. So tapo divyam, so Prabhupada class this Wednesday and last Wednesday also, he was emphasizing that when you get actual spiritual knowledge, I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul, you will engage in tapasya. Up to the point of giving up eating. Nidra ahara vijitasya. No nidra, no ahara, nothing. One devotee was Prabhupada's secretary, a good friend of mine. He told me that in the beginning, when the temple was coming up in Montreal, they just had one small room where Prabhupada stayed, very small room with a bathroom. And he said, I was sleeping on the floor and Prabhupada had a cot. And in the night, Prabhupada suddenly woke up. At least I thought he woke up. And then he got out of the bed to go to the bathroom, and I was sleeping, and I somehow realized Prabhupada was up. So I also sat up. And then Prabhupada went to the bathroom, and I was sitting there chanting, Hare Krsna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then Prabhupada slowly went to the bathroom, and then he came back. And then he saw him chanting, and he said, oh, so you're also not sleeping. You're also not. That means Prabhupada was not sleeping. Although it appears like he's sitting there, he's closed his eyes, he's sleeping. And he didn't know what to say, he just kept quiet. And then Prabhupada said, this is the beginning, 1967. Prabhupada said, oh yes, there is no need to sleep, there is no need to eat. But if I said that, nobody will join me. So we have prasadam and everything else. But you have to give it up. That's not even conceivable for us. Isn't it? So he's saying that this idea of Maya and mind don't exist for devotees. But in the temple also it might exist. Prabhu, that's my service, Prabhu. Prabhu, that's this, it's my office, this, that. It's not a matter of just speaking, or it's not a matter. What I'm trying to say is that although we as devotees generally don't hoard things, because tomorrow some temple president says you leave this office, you go to another place, you do some other service, all devotees do that. So they're not attached. It's a fact. So there is already the degree of I and mine is greatly gone by Prabhupada's mercy. That is a fact. But the devotee is required and expected to be inquisitive and ask, in what ways am I conditioned? Why am I still seeing the material existence? So the sadhana part of bhakti comes from tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Tivra, intense service. That intensity of service cannot come until you go to prabhu-datta śeva. Śeva that is given by His divine grace. Everybody not only can get it, they must get it. That's not taught in ISKCON. Isn't it? It's not taught. that you should get service from Prabhupada. Do they teach that? No. Prabhupada is dead and gone. So, why do we say that? Because Prabhupada said, in my presence you should not become guru. So if you become guru, he is no longer here. And usual ISKCON response is, oh, Ritik philosophy. This is actual philosophy, which they have misunderstood. You don't know anything, And that's one of the biggest disservices the Ritviks have done. That as soon as you speak about Prabhupada, you are a Ritvik. They've concocted a way to connect to Prabhupada. You don't know that. So I always make a distinction. When I understood a few days ago that the distinction I made is not understandable to people, so I'm going to make this distinction again. I was talking about book Bhagavat and person Bhagavat, and normally people think of book Bhagavat as book Bhagavat, and it describes Bhagavat persons, and then person Bhagavat. Book Bhagavat speaks about person Bhagavat, and person Bhagavat speaks about book Bhagavat, and there is no difference, like I'm speaking on Bhagavatam like that. That's not what I mean. I mean there is a difference between Prabhupada that you know through his books and Prabhupada the person. Are you following? Prabhupada the books and Prabhupada the person. There is sitting. Everywhere. Very big. Sitting. So to connect through ISKCON to Prabhupada, the person is the goal as far as I understand. If you don't accept, that's fine. I don't care. I'm just telling you. The entire ISKCON is meant to actually. Otherwise, this idea we distribute Prabhupada's books, what value it has got? You distribute Prabhupada's books, they read it, and page after page it says you need a bona fide spiritual master, and what, they should come to me, and then after that to you? Nonsense. People complain always, I'm not giving philosophy, but in order for me to give actual philosophy, I should teach you this first to clean all the nonsense that you have. But no, people will not. What can I do? But try to understand this. It's very simple. The entire ISKCON is set up such that Prabhupada says, through my books and my temples and my followers and my service in the temple, you can actually come to a point where I watch you, and then if you are satisfactorily serving, then I give you service. When he gives you that service, whether it is sweeping the floor or making a little flower or doing scientific research or doing anything, it is an incredible life. 24/7, that's all you have to think about. That's the power of that service. Are you following? When you get that prabhu-datta śeva, there's nothing else you can think about. So beautifully given, because it is connected to the original nature of the soul in the spiritual world. Prabhupada has explained all this. So getting that service is the way. So this is the path, this is the beginning of that service. You have to catch his attention. Yeah, this has to be trained and taught how to catch his attention. It's not even told, keep on doing this, Prabhu. So somebody wrote yesterday in the temple president meeting, WhatsApp group. No, Prabhupada's books are there, we got Gyan, and we just do service, Krishna will give Vigyan. Oh, I see, nothing else. Simple. So, this, now I have given you this, if you have taken this bitter pill, this is bitter for many people. Why is he speaking like this? So then I can now go to a little bit philosophy. I'll give you some Siddhanta a little bit. These are all you can just hear and you cannot understand. Just hear, that's all. You must learn how to only hear. Bring one book of Prabhupada, any book. And are you connected to internet? Yeah, connect. Whenever I give class, you connect to internet. But also any book of Prabhupada is here.
निकालो कई बार चलेगा।
Thank you, Prabhu. So, you see, this world, in case you did not know, is created by Krishna. But the world created by Krishna is a technical idea. It's a technical idea. So, how much? I'll say a few things at least. Just to give you an indication. How this I and mine, you have to come out, we have to come out of it, not you, we. I. So, how to come out of this is that you have to do Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, then Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito in the heart. So you read the books through your mind and intelligence. That mind and intelligence is covering the soul, and the soul is in the heart. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriday Chaitya Arjuna. And then Prabhupada can enter beyond your mind and intelligence, the soul, he can teach you. That's why we are singing every day, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakash. That's the knowledge that can take you beyond descending knowledge. Where is, what is that? Where Rajahamsa, you came in, where is that verse? What is the number? You tell him, he can put it on the screen. But Prahlad, Dhruva Maharaj, you know, transcendental knowledge, give him the thing and he can put it up. And Prabhupada says that you have to go beyond descending knowledge. It's there. All of this are there in Prabhupada's books. What does it? But we read and we just may not even notice. Therefore, if you want to go beyond descending knowledge to transcendental knowledge, Prabhupada says, and beyond transcendental knowledge is spiritual knowledge, he says. And he says Dhruva Maharaj is in transcendental knowledge. And then he says there is spiritual knowledge. What are we going to speak? We cannot even stand in front of Prabhupada. Nobody can. We cannot make such statements. They say, oh, Prabhupada said, just repeat what I have said. How can you even, you have not even read these things, you have not understood what you are going to repeat. So we must always know there is so much to be learnt. So, Krishna is everything. And Krishna is everywhere. But the living entities who are offensive, like me, in the spiritual world, but not originally, whatever it is. Let's not get into that topic. Then, they want to actually be the boss of everything. I want to be God. Therefore, Krishna has to create a situation where it looks like there is no God. He's everything. As I gave the example, just like if you want to see a movie, they make a theater and make it dark and you go inside and sit, and then like that the Mahat Tattva is covered and in the dark material world is created. That is also Krishna. And matter originally, it can be thought of as separate energy of Krishna, or it can also be thought of as Brahman. 13th chapter, Krishna says another name for Pradhana is Brahman. But it is full of, whereas in the spiritual world, all the Brahmans are fully aware. In the material world, all of us spirit souls are not aware. Please try to understand it. I'm going for a very important point. I'm going to explain the origin of false ego. A little bit, not that I know, what little I know, I will say. So kindly hear carefully, because that is not something you can read and understand. It's not possible. So Krishna, and this is what the devotee gets as knowledge in the heart by serving his divine grace. There is no other way. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado, yasya aprasadat nagati kuto. Yasya prasada bhagavad prasado is applicable to all Vaishnavas. So many devotees preach to us, right? That by your mercy, Prabhu, I have come to Krishna consciousness. It's a fact. But suppose some devotee preaches to you in Bombay and then you go to Delhi, you can do service there, no problem. Isn't it? You can't say, Prabhu, now I am not in touch with you, I am lost. But wherever you go, if you lose touch with Prabhupada, you cannot do service. So while Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasado applies to all the Vaishnavas, Yasya Aprasadat Nagati Kutopi applies only to who? Huh? I can't hear you. Loud. What, doubt? Yeah, but I didn't hear, you couldn't say that. You are worried, right? Somebody will say, why you didn't say Guru Maharaj, isn't it? Correct or wrong? Nonsense. No, because there are so many Guru Maharajas who have also left, but people have continued. This is a problem. Once you get the wrong understanding, first a lot of cleaning has to be done. I'm very sorry. Maybe they will ask me not to give a class again, but that's okay. But you cannot understand false ego and all that without, you can't go to Siddhanta without the basics. So, Yasya Prasada, Bhagavad Prasado, Yasya Prasada. By His mercy, you can learn these things. Even though they are all in the books, you have to be. Therefore, Prabhupada in the second canto, Bhagavatam, Kya ho gaya, Rajahamsa? What you are searching for? How long? In the WhatsApp, this thing, you put Dhruva and see whether it comes up. Or the SB4. It was in canto 4. Just search for SB4. Anyway, so by Prabhupada's mercy, you can get this knowledge. Therefore, in second canto, he writes, Prabhu, come and put 218. Put it on the screen. 218. Purport. Put the purport. Prabhupada writes that you cannot buy these books in the marketplace and read. It has to be explained to you by someone who is as good as Vyasadeva. Not a fool like me. Someone who is as good. Who is as good as Vyasadeva? Prabhupada. So it is very important for you to know that not only you can, but you must connect to person Prabhupada. Are you following the distinction? Book Prabhupada is the basis by which you can connect to. How? That secret is different. But now if you just assume that, this knowledge comes. So Krishna is creating, and you must know that matter has got no properties. What is that? Matter has got? So loudly, what are you sitting here, you moron? No. Say it loudly. What did he say? Yes, matter has got nirvishesha sunyavadi. That is why we are singing every day. Nirvishesha sunyavadi paschatya desetarane. What is this nirvishesha? Materialists. And who are the materialists? Who are celebrating nirvishesha. The matter has got no properties. Matter has got no color. Matter has got no smell. That is pradhana. This is the beginning of our getting. Are you following? Matter has got no properties. It is called pradhana. Into that matter that has got no properties, Krishna injects properties. You got that? But let it wait. But so read that where Prabhupada says, give me that thing. I can move it and read. Please see the screen. Prabhupada is saying, Can you see this? Srimad Bhagavatam, or for that matter, any other scientific literature. That means he is saying Bhagavatam is scientific, and other things, if they are scientific, they are also, cannot be studied at home by one's own intellectual capacity. Medical books of anatomy or physiology are available in the market, but no one can become a qualified medical practitioner simply by reading such books at home. But Prabhupada is saying, distribute my books. For what? So that through book Prabhupada, they can come to connect to? Loud. This is ISKCON. If you know that, you are in ISKCON. Is nice or not nice? Good or bad? Otherwise you can't understand this purport. All nonsense they have created. And then everybody is saying book distribution, book marathon, book distribution. Well, we have also done that. Prabhupada said we are not UPS service, that we deliver the books and somebody asks what is in the book, that I don't know. Right? You get a parcel from the postman. You ask the postman what is in the parcel. He'll say, I don't know. It's not my job to know. You open and see. We can't say like that. We don't know what's in the book, you read. No, we are supposed to know. So Prabhupada said, we are not UPS service. UPS means United Parcel Service in America. In India also it may be there, I don't know. We are not United Parcel Service. And you cannot understand these books by reading them. It is nonsense. So what I am saying is not coming from reading the books. It's coming from His divine grace. Now anybody has the guts to say that, let them say it. Are you following or not following? Yes or no? It's confusing, Prabhu. It's very confusing. Well, why is it confusing? Because you have got nonsense in your mind. So Prabhupada said, I have to wash it. Similarly, so no one can go and study this in their home. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, the postgraduate study of the science of Godhead, can only be learned by studying it at the feet of a realized soul like Vyasadeva. Who is the realized soul like Vyasadeva in ISKCON? So his own books, of course some people are saying, no, when books means the original Bhagavatam, purport is, you can, no. That's also not different from original Bhagavatam. So the distinction to be made is not between Bhagavatam and Bhagavatam purport. Purports we can understand. No. The distinction is between actually the book Bhagavatam, book Prabhupada and person Prabhupada. So unless you come to so ISKCON is meant for you to graduate. He is watching you. And when you are sincere and he is satisfied, he will come to you. Then you can actually learn from someone who is as good as Vyasadeva. Wow. This is the goal of life. Are you following? You are going to try this goal or not? Or you are thinking every day I will come and I will jump up and down and I am going back to Godhead. No. Yasya prasadat nagati kutopi. You got to understand this Siddhanta. Very, very important. This whole movement is meant for presenting Prabhupada. That means when we distribute books, we should know that by reading these books, they will come to ISKCON and they will serve. That is a must. But that's not the end, that's the beginning. And then when Prabhupada is pleased, he will connect to them. One-way connection. He will call, you cannot call. So some people say, oh, if he's put this philosophy, then everybody will say, Prabhupada has spoken to me. Yeah, everybody can say, but where is your brains? Krishna is here, in person. Krishna can talk to you. So why not everybody say, Krishna is talking to me? No. There are people who will immediately call you a bluff if they know. So there has to be people who have connected to Prabhupada. And they should approve, yes. Isn't it? Otherwise, you just can't come and say something. Somebody came to me once and he said, I'm starting some Ayurveda thing. In BA he came. I said, yeah, how come suddenly you're starting? No, I feel Prabhupada is telling me. I said, all right. He said, you do one thing, just leave this BI floor, never come back again. Do what you want. I said, he was shocked. I said, you haven't done anything and now you're claiming that Prabhupada is telling you? What, you think I'm a fool? So there are lakshanas for these things, but this is the fact. Just because somebody might say that, oh, I'm talking to Prabhupada, we cannot say Krishna, we cannot say Krishna is not here. Krishna is here. If he wants, he can talk, but for you to claim that, you got to be really big shot. So Prabhupada said here, who is as good as Vyasadeva? Where is this? Kahan ho gaya? Gaya pocha. Purport. Yes. One to capacity. Medical books of anatomy, one has to be the guidance of learned professors. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam in the postgres today, the science of Krishna, no internet, can only be learnt by studying it under the lotus feet of a person who is as good as Vyasadeva. So in ISKCON, we should know that this condition can be satisfied only if we understand person Prabhupada. Okay, this is the basic Siddhanta, I'm just reiterating it. So Krishna, so matter has got no properties. So when you see this is brown, this is white, this is saffron, this is material. But these properties don't belong to matter. I'm going to make a very important point, please stay with me. Are you all following what I'm saying? So now if person Prabhupada, I'll give two examples and you will never know such things by reading book Prabhupada by your power. Reading books by your own mental power is punya. It will give you great benedictions. You can go to heavenly planets. But if you want to understand and get free of material existence, then person Prabhupada must be connected to. That's all your meditation must be. Hey Krishna, hey Nandasutta, they're going. Same thing you have to say, where is Prabhupada? Where is Prabhupada? Anyway, when you come to ISKCON, this is what should be taught first today. You have read the books, you have bought them at home and you have studied, and due to your past Sukriti and Prabhupada's mercy and mercy of devotees, Yasya Prasadat, all the Vaishnavas who are preaching and everything, you have understood it to the extent that you now want to follow this process, right? That's good. But now in ISKCON, you just keep that separate, whatever you have understood from the books. Now, there are those who have learnt it from the professor himself. Not there are people who are with the professor. No. That nonsense we don't want. Going full blast attack. This has to be attacked. But when this will go on for the next 10,000 years. Not that people were with Prabhupada and say it's dead and gone. We don't want that cheating. Yeah, I heard yesterday there was one video, somebody said, distributing Prabhupada's books is so special and it creates a spiritual atmosphere. I said, what? What nonsense is that? What spiritual atmosphere? Anybody can read that and blabber anything they want. No, distributing Prabhupada's books is so special because anyone who is halfway decent and not an animal and who is grateful will actually develop love for Prabhupada, and slowly he can connect to Prabhupada. That's the importance of this. Anyway, I'm getting... So this matter has got no properties. So it is described in the Rig Veda, Satvata Upanishad. Prabhupada quotes it in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Vishnosti trini rupani purushakyani ato viduhu. Vishnostu, how many rupas? 3 rupas. Ekanto mahato srishtir. The first Vishnu creates matter. That's the job of Mahavishnu. What matter? Mahat. So, this, what is that first this thing? Pradhana is Krishna's energy. Out of that, Mahavishnu creates matter. Can you imagine? That requires Mahavishnu. And matter means that which is perceivable. It has got qualities. And it is these qualities in matter that makes you become entangled with false ego. This is the science of Krishna consciousness. You have read this in Prabhupada's books? But it's there. That's what I'm giving you an example of something you can stand upside down, you cannot know. There's nobody in the movement who can say they know this. If they said, then they should say the same thing. Prabhupada and book Prabhupada. So Prabhupada has said, I've given everything in the books. But you cannot understand. Because he said, you cannot buy it at home and read. But of course you can read with your Sukriti and Krishna's mercy and Vaishnava's mercy and Prabhupada's mercy and everything is there. But the purpose should be there. So this Mahavishnu creates matter, Mahat Tattva. Isn't it amazing? Nobody else can create matter. Only Mahavishnu can create matter. But even Mahavishnu creates Mahat from where? From Pradhana. And Pradhana is whose? Krishna's. So Krishna is the source of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattas sarvam pravartate. Now, in that matter, how does Mahavishnu produce the qualities? He also invites Krishna to enter. Because only by Krishna's presence, matter can have qualities. Just imagine what is the supreme position of Krishna. Prabhupada says this is the beginning of Shantabhav. What is the difference between impersonal realization and Shantabhav? In impersonal realization, you simply have no more material attachment, but there's no positive conception of Godhead. But in Shantabhav, you have extraordinary understanding of the greatness of Krishna, Prabhupada says. So those who are in Shantabhav are also floating in incredible ecstasy. Not that they are not in ecstasy. And that ecstasy is because they are realizing by Krishna's mercy more and more. Krishna is great means nobody can understand. So even, that is why when Aditya, Advaita Acharya came, he said to Krishna, you please come, I cannot present you. You have to understand who is Krishna. Okay, 9 o'clock ho gaya. Started. This is the verse. So, this Mahat, in which Krishna puts the qualities, how does he put it? That's a science. By that science, in matter there is thinking. By that science and matter there is intelligence. By that science and matter, there is tanmatras, feeling, willing, sense, taste, smell and all that. By that, what did I was saying? By Krishna's presence. Also in matter you got form, body. Everything Krishna. Therefore Krishna simply says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya, prabhashmi sasisu. He says just everything is me. No one else can say that. No one else can say that. You know, my mother was only second class studied for a long time. Isn't it? She came to America when I was living there to see me, and I started just going to the temple. So in 78 or something, I just going to the temple. So that Sunday I told her, we were in Flint, I said, I'm going to the Detroit temple, you want to go? She said, yeah, of course, she's very pious. Sri Vaishnavite lady, not like me. I'm a rascal. So we went, and I went out of my house, and there was a gas station. I stopped there and I put gas and came back, got into the car, started it, and I had gotten a bead bag the previous week from the temple. So I just again took that, and I was just chanting and driving. My mother said, what is that? I said, it's a bead bag. I said, what do you chant? I said, I chant this mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, 108 times is one round. We are supposed to chant 16 rounds, but I'm chanting. Right now only 8 rounds. Anyway, we went. She liked the Sunday feast and all that. It was nice. We came back. Next day morning I went to work. I came in the evening. Then my mother had cooked something, and then I asked her casually, "Did you try to chant today?" She said, "Yes." I said, "How many rounds?" She said, 16 rounds. I said, "What? 16?" She said, "I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here all day." She never stopped chanting 16 rounds till she left her body. There's no comparison between me and her. So what I'm saying is, that one day I went to Chennai. Whenever I went to Chennai, in those days I'll meet her. She's no longer alive, but I'll go. She's a devotee, first of all. I have to go and see. So then what happened? My eldest brother was there. I asked him, "Are you chanting Hare Krishna?" He said, "No." I said, "Why not?" He said, "Do you really want the reason?" I said, "Yes." See, we don't believe in all this Krishna, chanting, dancing. We are Sri Vaishnavites. For us, Narayana is the Lord. I said, "Well, why don't you chant Narayana's name?" That's a good question, he said. "That I must do, I'm not doing. But if I chant, I only chant Narayana's name." He said, "All right." Then I asked my mother, "Mother, you are also Sri Vaishnavite. How is it you are chanting Hare Krishna?" He said, "Yes, I also wanted to ask. Why you are not chanting Narayana's name? We are Sri Vaishnavites. Why are you chanting?" And my mother gave an answer that just blew me out. Of course, it also blew his mind. So she said, "Oh, I don't know." She said, "I don't know anything, but only thing is I have grown up hearing Harikatha, all Ramayana, Mahabharata, everything. So many Harikathas we hear. Because when I was a child, even 70 years ago, every day everybody only heard Harikatha. Everybody, even in a city like Madras, there was only Harikatha." She was saying, "But nowhere I have heard anybody say I am God. Only Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am God. So I accept." So the Paramatma, I couldn't have given that answer. So she was chanting, "Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayodita Janayate Asu Jnanam Cha Vairagyam," and I to come. So why I am saying that? What was the point I was saying before? Before I went into some other. Anyway, so Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna is God. It's not a joke. So Prabhupada said, people think God is great, but they don't know how great He is. So in all trillions and trillions of universes, matter has got no qualities, and then Krishna is entering them. That is also described in Bhagavatam in the creation. You have missed it when it is said that all the demigods entered everything, nothing worked. Brahma created everything, but nothing was moving. Nothing was alive. Just because there is soul and just because there were demigods, nothing was alive. World was dead. Then the Lord entered. Then the world became alive. That is all there. So, Krishna's entering actually creates the world of color and smell and taste and intelligence and mind. Everything is Krishna. Therefore, Krishna says, "Vasudeva." One who understands that Vasudeva is everything, he can surrender to me, not everybody. Samahatma Sudurlabhaha. Very rare. So don't think you can read and then speculate all this. And it's not that anybody and everybody says. Only those who have made connection with person Prabhupada should give the class. Now, another good news for you. Otherwise, what is it? You are reading, I am reading, everybody can speak whatever they want. I call it a green glass knowledge. You are reading through your green glass, mind intelligence. Prabhu, you are 5 years green glass. I am 15 years green glass. I am senior. No, you are also green glass. You got to go beyond. Put that particular verse. You have to go beyond. Huh? So, can you read? Thank you. You are doing very good service. Thank you so much. So, कौन सा verse chapter? 4:12:19. So Prabhupada says, there are different levels of acquired knowledge, purport. Direct knowledge, knowledge received from authorities, transcendental knowledge, knowledge beyond the senses, and finally spiritual knowledge. These are all different levels. You cannot just get it by yourself. When one surpasses the stage of acquiring knowledge by the descending process, he is immediately situated on the transcendental platform, transcendental knowledge. But beyond that, there is knowledge beyond the senses, and beyond that, spiritual knowledge. Dhruva Maharaj, being liberated from material concept of life, was situated in transcendental knowledge. You imagine Prabhupada's position. Not to be publicly said. Are you following? Following or not? Huh? Not completely. Are you following? There is something here that you don't know is being said. That's all. What not completely? What, is there anything you have completely understood? Then? Not completely. You don't understand anything even incompletely. Why don't you understand that? Somebody other day, one devotee came, he met me outside. Prabhuji, I've been hearing your classes. I just want to learn more the science. Then I said, have you come to the second floor? He said, no. So why don't you come there? Yeah, I would come, and I think I would like to know what scientific research is being done. I said, no. That's not how you should approach. We want to know what is the scientific research going on. That's not right. That's like saying, I'll go to the temple to see Pujari is doing puja. No, Pujari is doing puja because there is Krishna there. You are going to the temple to see Krishna. So we are doing scientific research is not important. You should think that, I go to the second floor, Krishna is revealing himself through science. Here he is revealing himself through Archa Vigraha. In the second floor, he is revealing himself through science. That is how you should approach. So you go to the second floor, you can see Krishna, but through science. And then we are doing that. I'm doing research is like I'm doing puja. That's okay. It's also important, but that's not the main point. The main point is Krishna. So how is Krishna revealing through science? So these various properties are coming. But those properties, even in modern science, they know, we cannot establish that they are in matter. Let me take some more time. It's very important. I don't want to leave it hanging. Because everybody says, I don't give actual knowledge, so I'm giving. Am I giving actual knowledge or no? Huh? Not only I'm criticizing, I'm giving actual knowledge. I am, of course, also criticizing. Why shouldn't I? Of course I will criticize. Means we love Prabhupada for his sake. There's a description in a Gaudiya Vaishnava literature of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. Lord Nityananda comes and drags Baladev from the altar. He says, get down, get down. He said, why should I get down? My altar. He says, no, this is a time for Lord Chaitanya. You all get down, he'll come and say. It's a long story, beautiful story. Why I said that, you try to understand what is this connection to Prabhupada. Anyway, are you following? What's your name? Prabhu Raksha. Huh? Prabhu Ranjan. Yeah? Very nice. Which class are you studying? 11th? 7th. Where? Huh? Vasai. Very good. So, these properties, for example, according to modern science, I give a simple example. Blue color is some frequency, some wavelength. But if you measure the wavelength, you won't get the experience of color. Scientists know that the blue color, the blueness of the color is only in the person who is seeing it. Although the blue wavelength is there. Are you following this point? Blue. So this is known in science. So, but of course, it's a deep point, but I'm just putting it. So in matter, whatever properties are there cannot be proven to be there unless you experience it. Exactly like if in a book, you read a book, novel, people buy novel, you read a newspaper. Newspaper has got news. Newspaper doesn't have news until you read. Before you read, it has got only ink and paper. But it's not just a bucket of ink and a bucket of paper. It's connected in such a way that when you read it, you will get news. The science. So it is not, the body is not just simply 5 elements in one bucket, earth in one bucket, water in one bucket, fire in one bucket, like that. No. They are connected in a machine in such a way that when you, the conditioned soul, who wants to dominate matter like Krishna, and who wants to compete with Krishna, not you, me, when I come to this material world, then when I see this world, all properties are there. Otherwise, it's a dead world. Are you following? Amazing. So you are seeing Krishna, but we don't know. This is how Krishna created a world in which he doesn't exist, even though he exists everywhere. How brilliant is Krishna? Just see. Are you following? So creation is the engineering process by which the imperceptible matter becomes perceptible to the soul. So there is a book. That book has got some information, but it is external to you. But when you read the book, you get some meaning that's very much closer to you. It's still not you. You yourself can write a book, you yourself can give meaning. But that is a different matter. But when you read the book, the meaning you get is closer to your nature. Like that, when the soul interacts with the matter at the level of false ego, then there is what is called consciousness, which is not a property of the soul, it's in the matter. It's coming through Krishna. But when you read matter, you get this idea, I. This science is there. I'm just giving an overall thesis. You cannot read anywhere. It's all in his book. So try to understand, if you want to get spiritual knowledge, if you want to surpass, we are only celebrating descending knowledge, isn't it? Aroha Pantha, Prabhu, we don't accept Aroha Pantha, Avaroha Pantha. But that is, you have to surpass it. Because Avaroha Pantha, you have to get necessarily through your mind and intelligence, green glass knowledge. When you want to surpass it, Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. Then you can get transcendental knowledge, spiritual knowledge. It's a science. This is why Krishna consciousness is a science. Are you following? Following or not? How many people are following? So many people. How many people are confused? So whoever is confused means insincere. Because I'm not asking how much you understand that. At least you should follow the overall process, what is being said. You don't even follow the overall idea, then why are you putting your hand up? What confusion is there? It's nonsense. Somebody gives you hot milk with haldi and elaichi powder and milk and everything, and you drink. How is it? Nice. So you like it? I'm a little confused. Really? What are you confused? Your job is to drink the milk and say it's nice, that's all. No, I'm a little confusing, you know. There's a nice milk with nice elaichi powder and nice haldi and nice sugar and nice saffron, malai pista. Anyway, you can't afford, you have to become eager to know more. And where is the source for more? Not a fool like me. I'm just reflected glory. Whatever, you have taught me something to do my service, so I know, but I'm not giving. So consciousness is actually, Prabhupada said, symptom of the soul. Like if you take the a material newspaper, you can do any chemical analysis, you will never get news. You cannot do some titration and then say the news was today. No. You have to read. So the fact that there is news in the newspaper is a symptom of the presence of the reader. Similarly, the fact that there is consciousness in this material body, it is a symptom of the soul. But the consciousness is not coming from the soul any more than news is coming from the reader. It's coming from the person who wrote the newspaper. So this is the beginning point. I wanted to give one more thing, but it's 9:25. Next time you remind me, second example. And this is example of knowledge which is beyond beyond descending knowledge. Exactly. This is a shock, isn't it? All is gone. Must be very shocked. But His Divine Grace has written it. Are you following or not? It's not that Prabhupada said, you just read the books and then repeat. Prabhupada said, read the books and repeat so that you can understand you know nothing. Instead, we have interpreted, I will just repeat, I am Guru. The baby, Prabhupada said, he hears from the father, there is a microphone, then he repeats it. Then what he says is perfect. Then we are thinking like, so then we will say, I'm not the body, I'm spirit, soul, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and what I'm speaking is perfect, and now I'm the Guru, please come and wash my feet. No, I don't think like that. I will think who is the idiot? I think I'll be a nonsense if I think like that, for myself. I don't know about others. No. I rather think that, but the example for I understand is, Prabhupada says the baby said is a microphone, but the baby does not know why it is a microphone. The father knows. So when I speak, like I have spoken so much, I have no idea whether I spoke is right or wrong. He knows. So this class is so that he will be pleased, not that you will be pleased. But you are thinking this class is for you. Therefore your thinking is confusing. No, I'm not giving class for any one of you. I'm giving class to glorify His Divine Grace. I see Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. You follow? So, Prabhupada is indirectly saying, the child doesn't know anything, I know. Because if somebody tells the child, oh, Krishna, this is microphone, what does a microphone do? Child doesn't know. Papa, what does a microphone do? Oh, you tell him, microphone amplifies sound. Microphone amplifies sound. Oh, really? What is amplification? Papa, what is amplification? You have to go back. Krishna created the world. Scientists will ask you, how did he create the world? Papa, how did Krishna create the world? That's my position. But I can give much more bhavana than others. I can put on a show. No, I don't put on a show. Are you following or not following? So you want to preach or you want to put on a show? Stop making show. I know something, I'm preaching. Oh, he's my Siksha Guru. What? Who is your Siksha? He's giving you Siksha, he's not your Siksha Guru. Isn't it? My grandmother would give medicine, she's not a doctor. Doctor is different. Just because you give Siksha, you're not Siksha Guru. What nonsense is that? What's going on? I have not even begun my attack. Don't think that all nonsense, all of you, just cheating yourself and others. Cheaters and cheaters. So be very careful. Because this is a class for devotees. We are not saying you don't preach. Preach, of course. We have to go and preach and we have to get people, they have to chant, yes. But know your position. The more you advance, the more you will know your position. Are you following or still confused? Or maybe you wanted to become a guru, that's why you're confused. Is it? All Hindus, cheaters. They've been gurus for many lifetimes, cheating gurus. All of you, all of me also. So be careful. This is not a time to become a guru. This is a time to become a disciple, a real disciple. Any questions or comments? I didn't even start the class on this. Bhagavatam verse.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful insights. There's one thing that I'm...
Thank you for the wonderful
Insights.
insight, singular.
Insights.
Plural.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I've thrown thousands of ideas, insights.
Srila Prabhupada disciples used to ask Prabhupada that when you leave the body, how will we associate? Then he used to say that I will be present physically in my books. So how can we understand the statement?
How can we?
Understand the statement that he is present in his books.
You are not qualified to ask such questions. Just when I speak, I'll speak. I'm not obligated to tell. It's some nonsense you're saying. Prabhupada said this, Prabhupada said. You don't even know what Prabhupada said. Put the actual quote. When I say Prabhupada said, I put the actual quote. And you have to study it, word by word. It's not possible to understand Prabhupada. This is why I got the book. So let me do this. So you just open the book. Here is. It is by great fortune, Prabhupada is writing purport, that one comes to Krishna consciousness on the path of Bhakti Yoga to become well situated according to the Vedic direction. Now don't think you can understand. You cannot understand this sentence. So read again. Now I'll keep on reading, you'll suddenly see something you never saw. If you don't see it and you keep saying confused, that means you are a cheater. It is by great fortune that one comes to Krishna consciousness on the path of Bhakti Yoga to become well situated according to the Vedic direction. Wow. No, we just read it. You just read like a novel. And something sticks because he is so great, even into my dirty mind something sticks. And we give class. I'm preaching, I'm distributing books. Everything is fine. Don't have this illusion, that's all. It is by great fortune that one comes to Krishna consciousness on the path of Bhakti Yoga to become well situated according to the Vedic direction. Wow. What a sentence. How many points is Divine Grace has put here? And I don't understand any of them. But it's great. It is by great fortune that one comes to Krishna consciousness. So he's saying, Prabhupada is saying, it's by great fortune that I have come to this process. Wow. On the path of Bhakti Yoga, because it's on the path of Bhakti Yoga, it's a very important point, to become well situated according to the Vedic direction. So I have to become properly situated according to the Vedic direction. You can't become like that. He's saying basically it's authorized. What I'm saying is perfect and authorized. And if you have got great fortune, you'll come into this. And when you come into this, you'll be on the path of Bhakti Yoga and situated according to Vedic direction. No concoctions, nothing. So you simply go on reading Prabhupada. Don't try to understand. How am I to understand Prabhupada? Are you so great? If Einstein created theory of relativity, do you ask, how can I understand? You have to be qualified, no? So why do you think that you can just ask this question? Are you following what I'm saying? We don't have adhikar. Please try to understand. These are all must be taught. Are you following? Śeva adhikar diye koro nija dasi. Every morning we are singing. Śeva adhikar diye. Give me the adhikar, not that just because I have come and joined and some new bhakta director said you can join the temple and you are in the new bhakta ashram, you got Śeva adhikar. No. Śeva adhikar, I have given the example. You can't go into some office, right? And say, I will clean this place. Can you do that? Can you go to some Ambani's company and say, Reliance company and say, I want every day sweep here, please, I brought a sweeping broom, I will sweep. Can you say like that? They won't even let you inside. Even to sweep, you have to have adhikar. So unless we have adhikar, we cannot understand Prabhupada. So we are trying to get adhikar by chanting and dancing and taking prasadam and preaching and distributing books, which are all wonderful activities. That I am not criticizing. But I am saying, under all this is the assumption that I am understanding Prabhupada's books is greatly wrong. Are you following that point? Is it okay? Yeah. It's a good question. I'm not saying it's a good question, but I'm giving a detailed answer. It's very important. I'll take one more question if there is there. Yes. Is your son? No. Okay. What's your question? What is the question? Quickly ask.
Reading books and like having a transcendental knowledge in heart. Like I want to ask, like there are so many.
Reading books and what?
Having a transcendental knowledge in heart.
Not having, giving.
Yeah.
He has to give.
Okay, so before ISKCON also there were devotees, and the people who can't read, those who are illiterate, so they are also pure devotees of God. Okay, there are so many examples.
There is no devotee of God who is illiterate. That's nonsense.
Illiterate means material, from material substance.
No, materially there's nobody who is illiterate.
Those who never went to school, those who can't read even Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam.
But that doesn't mean they are illiterate. They know everything. Vasudeve Bhagavate Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaga Janayate Asu Jnanam Cha Vairagyam Yadagaitukam. Prabhupada says if you are doing devotional service, you must have full knowledge. And if you don't have, something is wrong.
So I just want to ask about material knowledge and devotion. Is there any means?
No, that if it is, there's nothing like material knowledge. Do you say, what is the difference between material money and Krishna's money? Is there a difference? No, you collect money from all kinds of materialists, use it for Krishna, finished. So material knowledge used in Krishna service is transcendental knowledge. There's nothing like material knowledge. Somebody is using it independent of Krishna, it's material. If you use it for Krishna, it's spiritual. This is not material, this iPad. Is it material? It's used for Krishna, we're reading Prabhupada's purports, it's spiritual. So Prabhupada gave that example. Knife used by a thief is bad, knife used by a surgeon is good. Those are all basic elementary points. Why are you raising those points? They are all simple things. I am making the point. I'm not saying we are not preaching, we shouldn't preach everything. But this class is not for outsiders, for devotees. That you have to learn how to go further and further, and for this there are many levels. Are you following that? That's all. What is material, spiritual and all, you cannot know. Prabhupada knows. Are you following? Yeah. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदी।